All right, we welcome you to Most Buffalo, and we beginning this newscast here. Actually, I should say this stream. I'm just filling in, guys. So let's just roll with it. We're starting though with something really cool, because this is a look at what is happening in terms of some of the projects here. And I'm sorry, we're scrolling through. This is live television with this stream, all right? So can we roll that again? We just wanted to give the tease there, or shall we just go into our first guest? All right, we're gonna go into our first guest. I'm sorry, messed up the whole thing. Julia Bottoms, she didn't mess anything up. Well, look at that artwork right there. Julia Bottoms, we welcome you, a renowned artist from what we're seeing here. Really talented. Now, this is connected now to the post office, right?
Yeah.
And with obviously the signing and the declaration, the 250th anniversary. So tell us about these paintings that you have created.
So I was honored to be selected as one of 12 artists to create 2 stamps for a much larger painting here that you see. It was incredible to work on this. I mean, like I said, 12 artists, really big names throughout the country, and to be able to represent Buffalo, I think, is just such a cool thing. For this project, we wanted to really highlight figures that are well known, like Abigail Adams, but also figures that maybe you don't know as well, like Lemuel Haynes. So it's a pretty cool project.
Very impressive. And again, the artwork here with the way you did these depictions and everything. And now, will these actually be on stamps, or how is the Postal Service using this?
Yeah, they're available right now. So if you wanted to go to the post office and grab a set, they're right there. You would just ask for the Revolutionary Figure set. So it's a pretty cool set. Yeah.
And they also, as you had pointed out, produced this book actually here, which has a number of paintings and profiles as well of the famous people that you have helped, with other artists, have helped to create. Tell us a little bit about your background here in Buffalo.
So my background, I'm mostly known for my mural work here in Buffalo, but I found that in recent years I've done more and more with history and kind of doing projects outside of Buffalo that connect to sort of documenting history that maybe isn't well known, or maybe something that's been a little bit forgotten. So I've really been honored to work on things like this, where it's national, and it's kind of like bringing a spotlight to Buffalo and saying, look at what we have here to offer.
Very, very creative. Yeah, I'm really impressed here again by what I see. And you even have some sketches there that you did.
So this kind of shows the process. So it doesn't, there's a lot that goes into it. So it doesn't just start off with the final work that you see here. We kind of sketch out how we might want it to be. And the interesting thing with these is that we had some where, like Abigail Adams, we had references that we wanted to stick very closely to. But then for somebody like Lemuel Haynes, there's not a lot of reference material out there to work from. So when the art director, Ethel Kessler, came to me, she kind of told me the only thing that's out there is this black and white etching of him. So to be able to create something that's in black and in color and kind of has this, lively sort of thing to it, just adds to the record of who he was, and I love that.
Helping color in the personality in a way there, definitely.
It brings him to life, Yeah,
and that's, I guess, part of this project too. You got to learn about these individuals who we don't know about as much, right? Yeah. So a learning experience for you as well?
Absolutely, absolutely. And I love, like, so for example, with Lemuel Haynes, we know a lot about Abigail Adams. He was one of the first ordained African-American ministers in the country, and that's something I had no idea about. Also a military veteran, and just a really all-around amazing figure, both of them. So.
Now, you've got other projects. You actually have one right there by you. Tell us a little bit about that.
So I'm working on a children's book that's going to be coming out hopefully pretty soon. This was with the support of ASI, and again, this talks about history. So it's highlighting figures in medicine and science that aren't as well known, and just kind of, connecting kids to that history. And then this is a project that I'm doing with UB Communities of Care. If you want to see my work in person, tomorrow these paintings will be on display at AKG for the Afro Sankofa Festival.
Oh, yes, we had them on earlier, yes.
Yeah, so there's a lot of cool work that's happening around Buffalo, and I'm excited to be a part of a lot of it.
Definitely, and again, I love history, so this is right up my alley. And again, just the artwork that you've done here is just really, really something to see.
Thank you.
Wow.
So much.
So again, that's Julia Bottoms with her work, this renowned artist who we have in our midst here, creating some of these works of art for history as well. So we thank you for joining us here on Most Buffalo. All right. I'm going to try to get back on track now. All right. Which is not easy for me. We're also celebrating one of our musical greats who is a member of the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame's class of 2026. To On Your Side's Pete Gallivan, he went for a walk down memory lane with Vic Dana, who talked about his big break as an 11-year-old kid from Cheektowaga.
Smile for the camera.
For Vic Dana, a trip back home and to the town ballroom brings him full circle.
Little different setup now.
A lot has changed in here, but do you still get the same spirit and the
I
same
do.
feel?
Yeah, I do.
Vic was born Samuel Mendola Jr. in Buffalo in 1942. And as a boy in Cheektowaga, his parents enrolled him in dance classes to overcome his shyness. He took off from there, winning a number of local awards and ultimately taking the top prize in the nationally broadcast Ted Mack Original Amateur Hour.
From New York City, Ted Mack and the Original Amateur Hour.
But it was when he was 11 that he got his first real taste of showbiz. You guessed it, in this room at what was known then as the Town Casino, when his mom took him to see the great Sammy Davis Jr.
She went backstage and talked to the master of ceremonies, told him that I was in the audience, and he asked if I would like to come up and dance. And I said, no, I can't. I don't have my dancing shoes. And my mother reached in her purse and said, yes, you do. And she pulled them out.
He danced in the opening number, and then Sammy himself called him up for an encore.
And at the end of the show, he started to talk about me and asked me to come up on stage and have a little tap challenge. And I did, and he would do something, and I would do something, and the audience went crazy.
Sammy wanted to make him his protege, but Vic was too young, so instead he talked the whole family into moving to California to pursue a career in show business. And Vic continued to work on his dancing, but also studied singing, and then came his big break when he was picked as the lead singer for the chart-topping group, the Fleetwoods.
That was the career starter.
Little altar boy.
And it was just the start. Vic Dana put together a string of his own hit singles as a solo act through the 60s.
My first hit record, Little Altar Boy.
He also appeared in a number of motion pictures and television shows, ultimately retiring in 1990 to sell cars in his now hometown of Paducah, Kentucky.
It's an honor to have you up here, Vic. Congratulations.
So when his call to the hall came, Vic says it was out of the blue.
To think that people here still have some memory of me and the fact that I was born here is kind of special.
A singing salesman, an incredible life and career which will be celebrated at the Buffalo Music Hall of Fame's 44th annual induction ceremony. That is happening October 7th at Samuel's Grand Manor out in Clarence, that is, followed by a celebration concert coming up on October 8th at the Cove Event Center. All right, much more to come on Most Buffalo. In fact, we've got one for the foodies out there. We're going to be joined by the Ellicottville Chamber of Commerce ahead of this weekend's Taste of Ellicottville. Stay with us. Most Buffalo continuing now, and if you're looking for a fun way to spend this weekend, yeah, you can eat your way through Ellicottville. I like that. The Taste of Ellicottville, returning this Saturday and Sunday. Local restaurants serving up small bites, live music, plenty of local flavor down there. And this year, the festival also celebrating America's 250th birthday. And joining us now to tell us more is Barbara Pump with the Ellicottville Chamber of Commerce. And I guess you're one of the people that puts this all together. Major work, major project, but a labor of love, I guess, for you.
Absolutely. I mean, a lot of the work goes to the restaurants. They're the ones that, you know, cook amazing food that weekend, showcase themselves to all of the visitors, let everybody know what kind of food, you know, for all the foodies out there, they have to offer. So they're the ones that really put in a lot of the work this weekend, but we definitely put everything together so that they can showcase themselves.
How many vendors do you expect?
We have about 22. restaurants total, but we also have the Winery of Ellicottville and the Ellicottville Distillery that will be doing tastings this year as well. And they'll be doing those by the Village Gazebo, which is great because, you know, they're a huge part of the community as, you know, to everyone. So for them to be able to do tastings too is really exciting this year.
Now, you've been doing this for a while now, you were telling me.
I have been, yes, we've all been doing this for a very long time. But we just try to look at different things to do to bring people down, to showcase our businesses, to showcase Ellicottville. One of the nice things that we're doing this year is we're continuing on with the 250th, so you may see some foods that were some old classics, some favorite classics from years prior.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're really excited about this year.
Okay, and the music as well.
Music as well. We will have, you'll see music playing around the village, you know, throughout the weekend. And then Friday, actually tomorrow night, we will actually have live music at our gazebo to kind of kick off the weekend.
And what, I guess just a mix of music? Or?
Just a mix of music, yep. And then of course all the bars and restaurants have music all weekend long too.
Okay, well, you know, I think most of us think of the fall event as we were discussing, which probably most people know about that. It's Columbus Day weekend as well, Indigenous Day people weekend. So, but this event, again, as you said, has been around, and you know, people should take advantage for this one.
They should, absolutely. You know, I've had a few conversations with people. They're like, oh, well, what kind of food do these restaurants down here offer? They offer so many varieties. They literally have something for everyone. Some of them only offer certain things this weekend too. For example, Watson's, they have their rice pudding, which is to die for. So if somebody comes down, please get that. But they only offer that taste weekend and Fall Fest weekend. So a lot of our restaurants have certain specialties that they only focus on for this weekend. So it's time to come down and try it and check it out and see what everybody else has to offer too.
And would you say, you know, everybody has always said the Fall Festival gets so crowded.
Yes.
This one's not probably as crowded, is it?
No, it's definitely not as crowded. But I think that's what attracts more people to this event too, because it's not. Because, you know, there are some people that don't want to come down for Fall Festival because of the number of people. But Taste of Ellicottville is a great opportunity to come down, try out everything the restaurants have to offer, do some shopping, stay the weekend, and just have a nice, relaxing time.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we thank you again, Barb Pump, the Executive Director of the Ellicottville Chamber of Commerce. And all right, from the flavors of Taste of Ellicottville to a Western New York fall tradition where you're taking one of the area's most popular cider mills. Two on your sides, Natalie Foss. Again, she gets to do all this fun stuff. She was there for opening day at Mayer Brothers, where the customers were ready to get their first taste of the season.
It's opening day here at the Mayer Brothers Cider Mill, the start of their 174th season, and there's a line out the door all day today. I'm here with some people who have been waiting in line since as early as 5:55 in the morning. So I'm going to grab some of them, try and talk to them, and they're ordering their donuts, obviously. But for a lot of people, this is a family tradition. You guys come every single year, right?
Every year. We can't wait. We are so excited. The smell in here is so amazing as soon as you walk in. Oh,
what's your favorite donut?
Oh, apple cider with the cream cheese frosting.
And what's your favorite donut?
The same.
Okay, perfect. Amazing.
Can't get
all
any
right. All right. Hi. What is your favorite donut here?
Probably the chocolate and orange sprinkled one.
Do you come every single year?
Every year.
On opening day?
Opening day.
What time did you get here this morning?
I think like 6:15.
Wow. So you really like these donuts?
Early, but not too bad.
That's amazing. Yeah, so as you can see, it's definitely a tradition for a lot of people here at Mayer Brothers Cider Mill. They do obviously donuts. They have a couple new donuts this year that they're trying out. They also have a couple new pies as well, but it's not just grabbing donuts for themselves, right? A lot of these people are grabbing donuts for their children, for their grandchildren. Gail, I have to ask you, who are you grabbing donuts for?
I'm grabbing donuts for my neighbors, especially my neighbor Matt. And I'm just going to take home 2 dozen and walk down the street and hand them out.
So you're the most popular person in your neighborhood today, right?
I try to, you know, you got to do something.
And what is your favorite donut here?
Oh, the cream cheese one and apple cider. Oh, good.
I think I may have to agree with you on that one, Gail. So the cider mill is open now until 7 every single day until Thanksgiving. So if you want to come out and grab some donuts for yourself, if you're feeling a little hungry, then that's where you can come. On your side at Mayer Brothers Cider Mill, Natalie Foss, Channel 2 News.
Natalie did bring back some donuts, so there you go. Hey, are you ready to join the crew and help bring some Halloween frights to Buffalo's waterfront? Well, the Buffalo Naval Park now hiring for its new event known as Nightmare Wharf. Operating room scene? Whoa, all right. They're looking for scare actors, makeup artists, ticket takers, event ambassadors to help steer this spooky experience. The event will transform the waterfront into a haunted shipload of scares. You saw some of the creepy characters. There's another one right there. Live entertainment, special effects. You don't have any experience? No worries. Nuh-uh. They're going to train you. To join the crew, visit nightmarewharf.com if you dare. And Fright World also looking to grow its Scream team, as they call it. The haunted house is looking to hire about 175 seasonal workers ahead of their upcoming season. Excuse me. Open interviews and auditions are going to be held through August 28th through the 30th at Fright World on Hurdle Avenue in Buffalo. You have to be at least 18 years old to apply. All right, much more to come on Most Buffalo. In fact, hitting the ice for a good cause, where you can watch Amherst police and volunteer firefighters. They're going to face off this weekend, and we've got one of them in studio right now. All right, we made it back here on Most Buffalo, and a local hockey game this weekend is going to bring police officers and firefighters together for a special cause. This is in the town of Amherst. So the police department there is going to take volunteer firefighters on in a charity game honoring 16-year-old Danny Bechtel, who died last August after a serious accident. The goal, of course, to raise money for the pediatric ICU. This is at Golisano Children's Hospital. And joining us right now is the Amherst Safety Education Officer. I knew him as Officer Trey. He introduced himself, but it's Trey Johnson officially. Yes. We thank you for joining us here. So tell us, I mean, a lot of communities do have these events where they have firefighters and police get together and get out on the hockey rink. Yours is coming up. Is it going to be it's a little special, I guess, though?
Yeah, so the whole genesis of the game started with one of our officers. His son passed away last August, almost a year ago to the day, and we thought it'd be a nice way to honor him. They were organizing a game anyway, and then we decided to, well, maybe we'll kind of make it a little bigger, and maybe we'll do it for charity. And with that being said, we got the game going on at 2 o'clock on Sunday. It's at the Northtown Center in Amherst over by UB North Campus. Game starts at 2. We're selling, it's $5 to get in. All the money goes to the Golisano Children's Hospital, specifically the ICU, the PICU, the pediatric ICU unit. And we thought it'd be a nice way to honor Danny's memory. So all that's we have basket raffles, we have silent auctions. I don't want to list everything because I don't want to leave somebody out, but the community is amazing to us. And the other nice, and Doug Allen's going to come out and sing the national anthem.
Oh man, yes, the official anthem.
Yep, we're gonna have it just like a Sabres game, right?
Yeah.
So the whole idea is we'd like to make this an annual thing. Our hope is we can continue to raise money for charity. We're all first responders, right? Us, the firemen. We've all had experiences with Children's Hospital or known somebody that's gone there, or had to take somebody there, or whatever the situation may be. So we see the absolute amazing work that they do. And I can't say enough good things about, how they were and how they continue to be. One
of the treasures of our community, yeah.
Absolutely. So we thought this would be a nice way to give back. We're going to have a free open skate for everybody that buys a ticket.
Okay.
This is not free. You buy the ticket, you get to open skate after the game ends with our players. So come out, hang out with the firemen, hang out with the police officers. Should be a good thing. Like I said, we have some silent auctions for some signed Sabres and Bills merchandise that we're going to be doing. The one neat thing, and I will say this, we had somebody donated a signed copy of Dominic Hasek's Hall of Fame acceptance speech. He signed it. So that's kind of a neat, a unique item that you don't normally see. So we have some stuff like that. And again, our goal is to bring in as much money as we can and donate it to the Children's Hospital. And like I said, we'd like to make this a yearly event. So this is kind of the inaugural test run for it.
Well, it's a good idea. And, you know, we were talking just a little bit before, because a lot of times the public sees you maybe in a police car, or they see the fire department racing somewhere to put out a fire somewhere. They can see you as people at events like this. How important is that? Obviously.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole idea with this. So, like I've always said, you know, if you see me, one of my colleagues, or an ambulance crew, or a fire department, you're probably not having a good day, right? Something's going wrong in your life, one way, shape, or form or another.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So this is a nice way for you to interact with us where nothing's on fire, nobody's injured, nobody's the victim of a crime, nobody's in a car accident, nobody's going to jail, nothing like that, right? You can see that we are human beings, we're people, we like to play hockey, we like to do stuff like that. This is just one of the many community outreach events we've been trying to get going in Amherst. We've been doing it for several years now. Like I briefly mentioned to you, like we do a chili cook-off in December. So, you know, we get firemen and police officers and we come and cook chili, we pick a charity, and you come in and you donate to that charity, you get to try all the chilies, and, you know, Santa makes an appearance and stuff like that. And again, we're all there dressed down in, you know, the ugly sweaters. And I got a Bob Ross little number that I wear. So that way, you know, we can interact with you and it's less confrontational. You know, I can even say I went to pick up the tickets for this event yesterday, and I walked into the printers, and I've been in there many times for things.
Right.
And I walked in, and he hands me the tickets. He goes, oh yeah, just give the receipt to Trey. And I looked at him, I go, I am Trey. But I was in jeans and a t-shirt because I was on my way home.
Well, again, now we know who you are.
Yes.
And this event coming up again Sunday, correct? Or,
yes, Sunday at 2 o'clock.
Okay, there we go, right there, up at the North Town Center. Officer Trey, I'm just going to call you Officer Trey. Thank you again for joining us. And that's going to do it, I believe. Oh, no, we have more. Okay, a group of local student athletes is taken to the mat this weekend for a cause. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, all right, where are we going here, guys? Where do we want to go here? This is...
Helmet startup CAV uses virtual scanners and 3D printers to design custom bike helmets.
Download a iPhone app, take a single photo, just like a selfie. We then take the measurements from your face and create a virtual rendering of your head in our system. Our system will then actually send the print jobs to the bank of 3D printers you see behind me.
The company holding an open factory night in the First Ward to showcase its newest model and modern production style. CAV moving to Buffalo from California last year after winning a competition awarding money for a new factory in Western New York.
Building this business model in the U.S. And really more just local manufacturing allows us to get rid of inventory, waste. It's a much more green process. It allows us to be closer to the market and the people that we serve.
He was asking me, like, I could go anywhere, but, you know, I want to be where the cyclists are. I want to be where the bike paths are, where all you guys are.
CAV designs its helmets to be light and breathable. But the decision to move their factory here from tech hotbed Silicon Valley leaned heavy on something this area lives and breathes.
Anyone who's been here, it's about the people, you know. Really to build what we're building, it takes a village. And so to have the community back and support this, but really we are on the forefront of doing advanced manufacturing here in the U.S. And Buffalo has such a long history and tradition of manufacturing.
A tradition the city has not seen the full potential of in years, but it's startups like CAV that can bring that prominence back to life.
So to show that Buffalo is at the head of, you know, that amount of innovation, you know, it's super important. You know, it puts us on the map too.
We felt like the skills, the tradition, and just the appreciation for craftsmanship were really important for us, and we wanted to be a part of that community, and we wanted to add, you know, the next story, I think, for the city as part of that.
CEO and founder Whitman Kwok confirming they're actively developing ski helmets and plan to host more events around Western New York and the country. I'm Nate Mills reporting on your side for Channel 2 News.
Okay, Nate, thank you. Thanks for putting up with me, and thanks for joining us for Most Buffalo. We'll get things together for next Monday, live on Monday. See you then.